It's time for the Guitar Hero 2 review for the PS2. My dad got me this game for Christmas back in the late aughts, and it was the bundled version that came with the Gibson guitar controller. I remember seeing commercials for Guitar Hero 1, but never really had the opportunity to play it when it came out. I love rhythm games, and I was super excited when I opened this up Christmas morning, but did I overhype myself up? Let's find out. Normally I like to review a game series in order, but I want to start with this one since it was the first Guitar Hero I got to experience. The game is about rocking out to dozens of songs, all within the general rock genre across different decades of music. The main game is to play career mode, where you and your band start out by playing in basements and high school gyms, but as you complete sets of songs, you'll get sponsored and move on to more prominent gigs and eventually play in large venues. The gameplay shows a fretboard with scattered notes that fly towards you, and it's your job to play the notes. You can do this with a regular PS2 controller, but the whole gimmick is to play it with a guitar controller. The guitar has 5 differently colored buttons that correspond to the notes on the board, but pressing them at the right time isn't enough. You also have to strum the guitar while pressing the buttons at the correct time. On the bottom left corner of the screen is your current score and streak multiplier, which increases your point values the more you can keep a consistent streak going, up to a ×4 multiplier. The bottom right corner shows your rock meter, which gauges the crowd's overall impression of you playing the song. Keeping the meter to the far right is what you want, but the more notes you miss, the less the crowd will enjoy your performance, and if it depletes entirely, you'll lose the round and have to restart the song over. The note patterns and sequences become more challenging when increasing the difficulty of the songs, such as this example where you can see a sampling of all 4 difficulties of the same song and the differences between them. Thankfully, there's a couple of techniques to assist you with difficult sequences, those being hammer-ons and pull-offs. They're basically the same technique in that if there's a note that doesn't have a black ring at the top of it, you only have to strum the note before it and then only press the next note itself without strumming, and you can continue to only press the notes without strumming as long as the sequence of notes are this way. This is extremely helpful with fast solos, and compared to Guitar Hero 1, these techniques are easier to perform in this game. Another mechanic to help keep you alive are special star power notes, which if all are played correctly in a sequence, you'll earn star power. If you can fill the gauge up at least halfway, you can quickly tilt the guitar controller upright to use the star power, which will double your current point multiplier and really ramp up the crowd's spirit. Be careful though, as tilting the guitar can easily mess up your streak, so you may want to activate it via the second method, which is pressing select on the guitar. Hitting just one note correctly during star power will significantly increase your rock meter, allowing you to stay alive and get the crowd roaring again. While star power can significantly increase your points, sometimes it's best to just save it when those insane patterns show up. It's better to finish the song with a low score than completely fail. You can gain more star power than what a standard sequence will give you if you use the whammy bar during long held down notes. Even during non-star power sequences, it's fun to give the notes a little pitch change. 2 things about star power that was annoying was that you could only perform star power if you had at least a half a meter full. I could have been saved multiple times even with the tiny bit of star power I had if the game would have just allowed me to use it. The second was that you couldn't gain more star power while you were using it, even if you knew the next sequence of notes was a star power sequence. I know Rock Band lets you do this, and it's unfortunate this game doesn't allow it. If you can't get past those tricky sequences, there's a practice mode where it doesn't matter how many notes you miss, plus you can slow the songs down by 3 levels to really help you understand how to hit those patterns. The graphics are cartoony and fit well with the silliness of the game. I like how the notes change to a glowing blue when using star power, and your character performs a cool little spectacle trick for a bit. I also like how the audio slightly changes to have an echo effect on the song. While a unique feature back when this game came out, I found it funny how the game says if you have one of those fancy pants HD TVs, you can turn on progressive mode to align for the type of monitor you're playing on. You'll definitely want to turn this on if you are indeed playing on an HD monitor, as your accuracy depends on it, plus it improves the resolution and makes the game look crisper. The controls are pretty straightforward, and after trying to play this game with the PS2 controller, I definitely prefer the guitar. I feel like someone could theoretically play the difficult sequences easier with a standard controller, but the whole point of the game is to feel like a rock star and use the guitar. You'll also want to calibrate the controls so your inputs are as accurate as possible. The blue button isn't used when playing on easy, and orange is reserved for only hard and expert. Most of the songs are covers, but some are from the real band. The selection of songs in the main campaign are pretty good, however some are a one and done deal, and it's not because of the difficult patterns, it's just because I don't like the songs themselves. After playing a song, you'll earn cash based on how well you played, and you can spend it in the shop to purchase various unlockables, such as new guitars, characters, and songs. The list of purchasable songs is not great, in my opinion. I like that the game has so many to play, but out of the 64, 36 of them are ones I wouldn't mind playing again, but only 15 are ones that I actually want to come back to play. With multiplayer, two rock stars can either co-op a song together or duel each other where the song is played in fragments for one player, then the other player picks up where the notes ended for the first player, and whoever has a higher accuracy wins. One player plays the lead melody, while the other plays the bass or rhythm, depending on the song, and it was really nice that each player could choose which difficulty setting they wanted to play on, making it so the more skilled player didn't have to play on a lower setting. This is probably one of my favorite Christmas gifts I received. Thanks, Dad! I have hundreds of hours into this game, and while I'm not insanely good at it, it's still fun to try to perform those tricky patterns. Is this my favorite Guitar Hero game? Well, we'll just have to wait until I review the others to find out. This game gets a 4.25 out of 5 with a title of Awesome.